Yeah.
That's some crazy shit.
So it's doing a verification since I haven't played in so long.
That's okay. Hello, world.
Lurk, lurk, lurk. I make dumb sounds.
Miles is playing the. He's playing the loading screen. That's
Yes.
that's the new game
Yeah.
we're playing. What's called the loading screen. It's where
It's
we
like number go up, bar go up.
number go up, bar go up. Remember those times you get to like 70%, it would just sit there
It'd
for
get
like
the
hours,
it would get the
and then it went to
nine.
71,
It was like
and you'd be like,
99,
yes!
or like how old Microsoft like in the XP days it would go to 99 and just sit there, and then
Yep.
97, 99,
No.
97, 99. Then the Microsoft time whenever you're downloading something would always be like 5 minutes, 6,000 years, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Or
No,
you get
I
your
remember.
progress bar and it
Go ahead.
sits at 100% for an hour, and then it starts going 101, 102.
One eternity later.
Since we were talking about Predator the last time,
Oh yeah.
I thought maybe we could do some 30 interesting facts about the Predator
Oh,
to see whether or not you will be surprised.
that like the first thing that I remember is that its original design was stupid.
Yes,
Yes.
that this article does cover that, and that it was actually supposed to be originally played. The Predator was originally supposed to be played by Jean-Claude
Jean-Claude
Van
Van
Damme.
Damme. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
And
and they
there is footage of him in the original suit
yep.
not
It
being
was more
very
of like
happy about it.
not like it was like insectoid or whatever.
There was
Yeah.
this insect thing, yeah.
So I figured this and all these facts, I got these from the website is called alltherightmovies.com if anyone's interested in going to their website to look some stuff up. It's very informative. So obviously I didn't pull these out of my brain or I didn't pull these off the internet randomly, so I do give them credit for anything that's said here. So it's actually obviously done by someone that's far smarter and far more journalistic than I. But I figure this would be an interesting thing to do. Listen to Miles's reaction as we go through them.
This sounds interesting. Let us continue. Well, the percentage goes up and the bar go up.
All right. So number one, the start of the movie was originally very different. This film starts with the team of commandos on board of a helicopter cracking wise and listening to Long Tall Sally by Little Richard. Obviously, we remember this. Originally, though, director John, I don't know why I said John. Beg your pardon, John. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. John McTiernan planned something different. He wanted the team to arrive in the jungle not by helicopter, but via a team halo jump. That would have been
Oh,
jeez,
jeez. Like jumping out of like a plane at really high altitudes?
like it's the probably clip in the I think it's the intro to Metal Gear Solid 3 where he jumps out of the airplane.
Or at the
Um,
beginning of every PUBG match ever?
yeah, exactly. What was
Yeet!
going to happen was the team's plane was under fire from a MiG, and the pilot would try to leave. Dutch Arnold Schwarzenegger would hold a gun to the pilot's head and force him over the landing zone, then run and leap out of the back ramp, grabbing a parachute on the way.
Ah,
That would have been a very different movie.
being all spiffy, right?
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of something I can't exactly remember. Oh, it's Payday 2. There's Payday 2 has a map like that where you have to like launch
Isn't that like the
bundles of money out of the back of a plane, grab a parachute, and just yeet.
Isn't that the entire movie of Con Air? Isn't it the one where you just throw them out of a plane?
Something like that.
So, fact number 2: one of the cast needed a bodyguard. Do you know who that was?
Billy.
Yes.
But the bodyguard was not to protect Billy, was to protect everyone else
Protect
from
everyone
Billy.
else, yes. So Sonny Landham, who played Billy, the team's expert tracker, was known to have such a short fuse that the studio hired a bodyguard to protect people from him. The bodyguard followed Lanham everywhere he went to make sure he didn't get into any trouble on the set. On this, McTiernan said, "We had this 6'8" tall giant who had to follow Sonny around 24 hours a day the entire time he worked on the movie and made sure that he never misbehaved."
Yeah.
So Billy wasn't just a psychopath in the movie; he was also a psychopath in real life.
In real life, which is that's just crazy.
So the Crayola knife scene could have been real. Maybe
I doubt it. No, it's the knife had like a trigger and then it would bleed. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the sound he makes when he dies with the predator off screen.
And his and the funny thing is his laugh that the predator samples is his laugh.
Your money bags are getting
laugh,
in my shot there.
It's great. It's fantastic. There's so much lore to this movie. It's insane. So fact number 3, again, alltherightmovies.com. 3, some of the cast had real life military experience, and obviously we know Jesse Ventura was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Blaine Cooper is the team's heavy gunner and is played by Jesse the Body Ventura, a WWF, currently now WWE, for those of the that weren't born in the 80s or 70s. Was a WWF wrestler. In his film debut, Ventura was a real-life Navy SEAL before becoming an actor. And Richard Chavez, I believe, Chavez, who played Poncho, served in Vietnam, so also had military experience. Ventura was actually interviewed for the role by Schwarzenegger himself. Arnold recommended him to McTiernan and said, "He's big, he's got a deep voice, and he's manly." He was at the Gulf of Tonkin. Actually, there was a, I can't remember the name of the WWE wrestler. He does like a spot on impersonation of him. It's like silly how good it is. Him and Will Sasso. Will Sasso apparently does a really good impression of him.
I have a great crew out there in the Baja that I got from Rosarito.
Fact number 4. Schwarzenegger and Ventura were in competition. When Ventura was being fitted for his costumes at the start of the production, the wardrobe department told him that his arms were 1 inch bigger than Schwarzenegger's.
He believed it.
So when he was back on the set, Ventura said to the Austrian Oak that they should measure arms to compare sizes, the winner getting a bottle of champagne. They measured arms, but Schwarzenegger's were bigger. Ventura lost because Arnold had stitched Ventura up and asked wardrobe to tell Ventura that his arms were bigger. So he lied. Yeah, you're right.
He lied. He lied and he believed it.
You believe me, you fool. My arms are bigger. Yours are small and tiny, insignificant. Character tick was brought in by an actor, Bill Duke, who plays Sergeant Mac Elliott, one of the team's machine gunners.
Mm-hmm.
He has a distinctive character tick where he shaves even though he's already clean shaven. And this tick was brought to the table by Duke. The scene where he presses the razor so hard into his cheek he starts bleeding with specially made razor that squirted blood. So he didn't actually cut himself.
No, of course not. It didn't even look real. So
yeah, I mean, you could tell that it was no blade in it, but it was a kind of a neat. I like how he snaps it and he looks at it. He looks over at Apollo Creed and he's like, oops. He has this really perplexed look on his face, like, yes, I have psychological damage.
It's his
So number
trauma. Got
6.
brain damage.
Brain damage. So number 6. The cast went through some rigorous training. To make the team more believable as a trained unit, McTiernan arranged for the actors playing the commandos to be given military training.
Yeah.
A military advisor called Gary Goldman was brought in, and McTiernan told him, "These guys look like ballerinas, toughen them up."
One massive tangent later.
Before we got off on a huge tangent about 80s movies, they walked 20-mile treks through the Mexican jungle. Fuck that. They're probably all dying of malaria and shit. Goldman took them on road runs in the mountains. So, I mean, obviously, I can imagine these dudes all doing this like really physical training, and it's just Chavez and Ventura just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Because these guys are. I mean, maybe Schwarzenegger. I mean, but that's the thing. Like Arnold's a big dude, right? Like back then too. Like he was huge, jacked, massive dude. You can't imagine his cardio is any good. You know what I mean? Like he's probably not like, you know, I can't imagine that cardio was part of his thing. I mean, Jesse Ventura, I mean, they drown, like literally in buds. I think they drown you. I think you have to know what it feels like to drown. And I think one of the statistics is that people do in fact die going through that training. They just don't talk about it. So it's like, shout out to the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
Because that's some crazy shit. But you know, they're running. I can't imagine Ventura and Chavez are having the time of their lives out there, and these other 5 knuckleheads are like climbing up this hill, right? And then the director in a fucking jeep ahead of them, like the black guy on the bike.
Yeah.
Like Macca in fucking what's his face? Little Mac? What's the name of the guy in Punch Out?
Yeah, Little Mac, yeah.
It's Bill Duke on the bike, and his Schwarzenegger running behind him. And Schwarzenegger will go on a talk show and twist the story. It's like, no, it was Stallone. It was Stallone. He was the one running behind the bike. And they had he set up them drills and stimulations for a few days. So obviously they're doing gunplay and how to reload their weapons. George Chavez tells a story where in the middle of training he laid down for a rest in the middle of the jungle trek, and when he sat up he was covered in hundreds of ants that started biting him. He laid down on an anthill. Poor bastard.
Friggin' bastard. Oh.
He went into shock. Obviously, the fire ants, that's painful.
Mm-hmm.
He ran into shock, ran through the jungle, ripping his clothes off. That
Screaming, no, get him off!
Poor bastard, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Because those things hurt, man. Like, I've seen videos of people being bit by one. I can't imagine what's like, and it's the Mexican jungle. It's probably some species of ant they've never seen before.
Oh, probably.
It's probably fucking xenomorphs. Jesse Ventura already had military training from his time in the Navy SEALs, and he says, quote, I'll put it this way. I can't do it, Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, I can't do a Ventura, yeah.
I wouldn't want to go in real with these guys, but I'll definitely do a film with them. Yeah. Well, I mean,
which means they're too pansy to be in real combat.
Well, you hear about all these dudes like the Navy, especially the Navy SEALs guys. I mean, they're all jacked, big dudes and everything, but I mean, obviously they've got training and they know the lingo and they know where they're supposed to be, no matter what.
One military-themed tangent later.
But anyway, I'm just doing my best Emperor Palpatine impression. It's fine.
I haven't played this in so long. I'm trying to remember how.
What class are you?
A zealot.
Press buttons.
Like I should be getting out ahead and just chopping things.
Yeah, run ahead of me. Everything's gonna be not moving, so just kill it. I'm playing the game on easy mode. I can't fucking think. I'm reading for you. All I know is that I'm playing my character that she's a raging bitch, and I love it. Calls everybody simpletons. So as soon as I get a free second here, I'll read the next thing. So the first big action scene took a lot of preparation, as this guy gets electrocuted for being so fucking rude. You're dead. Alright.
Can't remember how to rev my freaking sword.
Mouse 5 if you've got mouse 5.
I don't have a mouse 5.
It was funny, Jeff was playing this, he's like, I don't know how this works. I'm like, you have to use mouse 5. He goes, I don't have one of those. It's like, can rebind it. He's like, nah, I can't be bothered. I'm like, dude, it's like one of the most important buttons. You might wanna rebind it. He's like, nah, I can't be bothered. Okay, well, I mean, if you don't want to press escape and move a few keystrokes, it's not my problem, bro. I'll kill stuff and you have fun. Oh, chaos spawn, awesome. Uh-oh. I'll light everything on fire, why not? That's fun. From me to you!
I can't hit a damn thing, everything dies before I get there.
I'm sorry. There's a demon host somewhere.
Yeah, I hear it.
Don't touch the witch. They touched the
Oh,
witch.
they've touched it.
Why do you touch the witch? Oh, I'll just kill it. Why do you touch the witch? It's dead. So, McTiernan gives us a taster of the commandos in action when they ambush a village of hostage-holding insurgents. It's a huge set piece, and there are so many explosions in the sequence that it took the crew 2 weeks to rig up the jungle with the explosives. They didn't destroy any of the jungle, as that location had already been burned down in a fire a couple of years before, though they did spend time spray painting the stumps black. Then, when they started shooting, 300 Mexican extras showed up. Uh-oh, I got trapped. 300 Mexican extras showed up when they only needed 100. McTiernan paid them all, then sent 200 of them on their way. So he paid everybody and only kept 100.
Well, it was nice that he paid them.
Yeah. Top guy, man.
Everything is a joke.
I think it was a 20th Century Fox movie. I'm sure he had the money to do it.
Yeah.
They got the monies. Mind you, back then to the 80s and 90s, 70s. Well, I don't think the 70s, but the 80s and 90s especially, Fox was like one of the hottest movie studios going. If I do recall,
lots of sponsor money.
what's that?
Probably lots of sponsor money.
Yeah. I don't know where we're going. I lost my. I looked off my screen. I have no idea what's going on anywhere. It's all right though. I'm just going to burn everybody. So that's what we do. We just burn people alive.
Crispy.
They say, well, isn't that heresy? Yes. I'm a psycho. It's supposed to be heretical. That thing jumped right over my head. Anyway, McTiernan, this is not fact number 8. McTiernan didn't shoot the first action sequence. This ambush is set is the first big set piece, but it wasn't actually shot by John McTiernan. It was shot by the second unit director called Craig Baxley, who had previously worked on the A-Team TV show. When McTiernan saw what Baxley had done, he didn't like it and said, it's stuntman style, static shot after static shot. This isn't a war movie. However, he was convinced by Joel Silver to keep it in. Well, that's why the action sequence, like when you first see them and they're killing everybody, knock knock, he does all that stuff. It's why it's a completely different movie. Remember, and when you watch Predator, right? When you first see it, it starts out like a regular 80s,
regular 80s war movie.
And well, no, not a horror movie, like a war movie.
Yeah, like a war movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it just starts out like every other shoot 'em up sort of whatever, and then it turns into this, like, they're being hunted by this thing. It turns into a horror movie. And it works. It really does.
I'm gonna go down.
You're all right. Shock, 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 shock. Shock, big shock.
Show the trouble of the Emperor's mercy!
Alright, so the Predator POV, this is fact number 9. The Predator POV is based on science fact.
Yeah, he's just
obviously we all know the
infrared
Predator's
cameras.
heat vision.
Perhaps I should ask him.
Some of the most memorable images from Predator are the point of view shots for the alien it sees by identifying heat signals. According to scientists, the Predator POV is similar to how snake sees its prey. To pull it off, they tried real heat vision cameras, but the camera cord only stretched 4 feet from the van.
Yeah.
Can you imagine them trying to figure that out? You got an adapter, bro? Got an extension cord? No, no, I don't think so. This is before Bluetooth. You know, like, it wasn't just something you hooked in.
Don't know.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Concentration. I don't know. Medicaid.
There's a Medicaid here. I guess I'll take a charge. Why not? Also, because the ambient temperature in Mexico was 90 degrees Fahrenheit, the actors were the same temperature as the background and couldn't be seen in the heat vision. They tried spraying trees with ice water to making the actors stand by a fire, and it didn't work. In the end, the effect was created by using multiple types of cameras at once, and the use of expensive digital effects. Money for the latter wasn't in the budget, so McTiernan had to plead with Joel Silver to pay for it, which he did. So there you go, the heat vision.
Something to be said for begging.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wasn't it Keanu Reeves or something like that for the Matrix movies? He basically took a massive pay cut to make sure that they got finished.
Yeah, he believed in it so much.
And I don't know, when people talk about the Matrix movies, I don't know what they're talking about, because there is only one Matrix movie. I don't know what the other 3 were. I don't really pay attention.
So you didn't see the most recent one?
Oh, you mean that massive lump of dog shit? They're terrible. Even 2 and 3 were terrible. It's like, you establish this awesome premise, and then you, like, try to, like, do this goofy retcon in the middle of it. It's like, And then you have all these artsy-fartsy morons on YouTube trying to come out and go, "Oh, well, this is what it really means." It's like, no, that's not at all. It's not at all what it means. Like, Neo's supposed to be the one, and therefore it's over. So, get him up. So, fact number 10. McTiernan wasn't the first person asked to direct the film. My text is very small. There we go. Director of Predator was John McTiernan, who, following up with Die Hard and The Hunt for Red October. Oh, no shit. Earned a reputation as a top-tier action director. But before McTiernan was asked, though, there was another name attached to Predator as director, Jeff Murphy. Also known as New Zealand Spielberg, apparently. It says on the article in brackets, apparently. Who would later direct Young Guns 2 and Free Jack. And Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, because we all remember Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, right?
Sure.
Was Seagal even in it? I remember Under Siege. Was it Under Siege? Was he in that one? He goes in the. They're in the thing. The boat. They're in the boat and they kill Tommy Lee Jones with the knife in the head.
I don't know. I don't remember.
He's fighting in blue jeans. Do you remember that movie, Miles?
Barely.
You gotta remember the stripper and the cake, bro. Come on. It's not that good of a movie. It's actually pretty fucking bad. Okay, so a few years before this, Murphy had interviewed to be the director of what would have been Conan the Barbarian 3, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course, he was interviewed by Schwarzenegger himself, and during the interview, Murphy called the character Conan the Barbarian. Ah! Oh! I got trapped. Damn it! They're gonna pay for that. With fire. I'm like 25% game and was 75% reading, and I don't care. A few years later, starring Schwarzenegger, blah, blah, blah. Of course, he was interviewed by Schwarzenegger himself. During the interview, Murphy called the character Conan the Librarian, which did not go down well with Arnold.
Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?
Don't you know that Dewey Decimal System? These books are a little late. He cuts them in half. Conan the Librarian.
On U72.
If those of you watching have not seen is it UHF?
UHF with Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah. If you have not seen UHF with Weird Al Yankovic, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to go watch it. It's fucking hilarious. All you Gen Zs out there need to do your homework. There is
Good culture, damn it.
Awesome. There's 40 years worth of awesome movies that no one has ever seen. I work with a bunch of kids, and it's like, and I'll like rattle off like Simpsons references and movie references, and everyone looks at me like I'm from fucking Mars. Get you lost in Mars. It's you know, like if everyone would just catch up, right? Life would be so much more easy. So I get along with people that are from, you know, Gen X and the early millennial, more than I do with the kids, because the kids just don't get it.
No more.
My character's having like a panic attack. She's like, it's not hard. You're holding your hand out, doing your best Emperor Palpatine impression, lady. Just chill.
Unlimited power.
I hope you know you're all damned. It's like, yeah, we know. So Murphy was out.
Murphy, it's
and
you.
They started looking for a new director. Producer John Davis remembers seeing McTiernan's Nomads, 1986, and was and being impressed by the atmosphere he created on a budget for less than $1 million. He screened Nomads to Schwarzenegger and Joe Silver, who they loved it. So apparently they watched this movie and they're like, yeah, this is sick. And McTiernan was in, and that's how he got his job. So your body of work, hang on to it, because you never know who might go back and listen and watch and go, hey, that's pretty good. You're gonna clip that meme in, I'm hoping. Hey,
I hope so.
That's pretty good. Where's Jeff? Why isn't Jeff playing?
I don't know.
Super depressing, man. It makes me crazy. Anyway.
Let's all go to the
kitchen.
Let's all go to the
Kitchen.
Let's all go to the
Kitchen.
to get ourselves a
Bag of cookies.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling
Barbecue sauce and water.
are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the
Kitchen.
to get ourselves a
Bag of cookies.
Let's all go to the
Friggin' kitchen.
to get ourselves a treat.
Bag of my friggin' dirt.
One day, Miles went for a walk. When all of a sudden, a chicken approached him.
Hey, little chicken, how's it going?
And with that, Miles was beat to death by a chicken. So the moral of today's story is, don't trust a chicken.
Nobody likes Greg. Greg is the worst. Greg.
I just grew. No grease. Greep. Grey. 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 Grey.
Greep. Grey. Ew.
Oh, nice. Big, huge explosions. Yeah, I just destroy the tank thingies and we're good. Destroy the tank thingies. Get off. Here we go. So, yeah. Fact number 11. Should enable our microphones and just keep talking like they're not there.
Nah.
Yeah, people get so upset. Shut the fuck up! No.
No.
Did you know in the movie Predator 1987? Like, fuck off! Yeah. Fucking absorb it. Absorb the knowledge. So McTiernan, this is fact 11. McTiernan had a vision for the movie, despite the obvious influence of films like Aliens, Aliens had come out a year before Predator.
Yeah.
And The Thing, 1982.
Good movie.
McTiernan saw Predator. Thing, if you haven't seen The Thing, Thing is fantastic. It's actually really scary. Well, quote, scary. Saw Predator. When we were kids, these movies scared the shit. Predator was terrifying. I scared the shit out of me. And that's the other thing too, Miles. When did you first see Predator? Wait, when did you first see it?
Oh,
The
jeez.
first.
I saw that. Saw it when it was aired on television. It was like Fox
Me too.
29. Yeah. Late night movie.
Yeah, late night. Yep, I saw it.
Same with RoboCop.
I actually saw it. I got exposed to Schwarzenegger from my father, and it was like a 90s thing. Terminator 2 had just come out. Terminator 2, this was what, Terminator 2 was 1992 or 91? 90 or even 90. When was Terminator 2 come out? Sorry, Terminator 2. Terminator 2, 1991. Hallmark is one of the best action movies of all time. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. If you haven't seen that movie, again, you guys have homework to do. I got exposed to that. I was like, this is awesome, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I remember my dad showing it to me. We rented it. We watched, I think, we watched it like 3 times in a fucking row. And then I went home. This was Sunday night. I went home and I told my mom all about it. I was like, yeah, we watched Terminator 2. She goes, oh. She goes, you haven't seen the first one, though. I said, the first one? There's a first one? My dumb ass. Terminator 2. You know, I'm like, this is my mother, right? Like, you know, my mom at the time worked at a circuit board plant. She worked, you know, she did all these odd jobs. She was a hairdresser and all this other stuff. She still is. I live with my mom. My mom lives with me. Whatever dynamic you want to call it. Whatever. Sure. Anyway, she's like, well, the first movie's better. I'm like, what? Is it better? She's like, well, next weekend we'll rent it. So the next weekend, my mother, I'm 9. Yeah, I think I was 9 or 10. She rents me Terminator, the first one. This is you're wondering, those of you in Gen Z land are wondering, what the fuck is renting? we used to have it to this day. Jesse still owns the sign for That's Entertainment. We used to have these rental shops. And St. Catharines was Jumbo Video, That's Entertainment, and a very little known place called Blockbuster Video. Blockbuster was newer. So Jumbo Video and That's Entertainment were the two. And I think there was a couple other places you could rent movies from that were closer to your side of St. Catharines. Or not your side, because you lived in Thorold, right? But like that end of the town. She rented Terminator 1, Alien. I saw Alien before Aliens.
Which is the way you're supposed to see it. Most people see Aliens and then go back and watch Alien and go, oh, what the fuck's going on? Because Alien's a horror movie. Alien is not an action movie. Alien is a strict horror movie. And if you haven't seen Alien, you need to go watch it. And if you haven't played Alien Isolation, if you want nightmare fuel, if you don't want to sleep for 2 days, go and play that game. That game will scare you shitless, because it is exactly like the movie Alien. It's actually a DLC where you play as Ripley and you're running around in the vents and shit. It is tense. Yeah, Alien Isolation's DLC is amazing.
It is, from start to finish, absolutely fantastic game. Wild. But anyway, I got exposed to Terminator 1, Alien, and Predator all that weekend. My mother rents these 3 movies, and she's like, "Which one do you want to watch first?" I'm like, "Well, I want to watch Terminator." She goes, "Okay." So I watched Terminator. And she did this on purpose. We watched Terminator first, and I'm like, "He's the bad guy? Is the guy that comes back, like, is he like the T-1000?" She's like, "No." I didn't understand, and the visual effects were a little bit more janky than the second one, so I wasn't put off, but it was kind of like, this is okay, but But again, Terminator 1 easily one of the best movies. Then we watched Predator. I think it was probably around 10 o'clock, and I watched it. She wasn't into the whole thing, so I watched it. That movie again, beginning to end, amazing. Except when he takes the mask off. I don't know what it is about that creature. It scared the shit out of me. I was terrified.
Really, the Predator's face.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah, I guess. I thought he was badass looking.
I think, well, yeah, but the thing was, it said the way, obviously, the Predator in the first movie, and I believe in the second movie, played by the late great Kevin Peter Hall. Kevin Peter Hall being 7 foot plus, big dude, big lanky. I mean, he was made for creature effects, right? Like, he's tall and lanky, And he played
just like the guy
that
plays the newborn at the end of Romulus.
Who?
Have you seen Romulus? Alien Romulus?
The new one?
Yeah.
I have not. I've only seen bits and pieces, but I heard it's really good.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I did hear that the guy that plays what the. Oh, guys are taking like shortcuts and shit. What the fuck? The guy that plays the newborn, or what's supposed to be the newborn, is like some dude that's just like a really tall, lanky guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's crazy tall, and he likes playing basketball.
Yeah, he's like a basketball player or something. Yeah. Fire.
Fire bad.
So, anyway, saw that. Awesome movie, Scared of the Predator. I think the thing about the Predator that was scary to me was that he was so big, like he was tall. And like the whole,
like
the body language.
Hits him with a log and he's like, bad idea.
Bad idea. Like he's like, oh my gosh, it's like he's like, Arnold doesn't have a chance. Oh man. I don't know, something about it that was really kind of scary, and he hits him across the face, and he just kind of like shrugs it off like it was no big deal. Like, he smacks him back, doesn't he? Like he hits him, and then he just kind of like, and he just punches him back. Like bitch. And then my mother, her infinite wisdom. She's evil. It's gotta be what, midnight on a school night. She's like, oh yeah, here you go watch Alien.
Oh god.
Here I am, 9 years old, 10 years
piss
old.
yourself.
Let's watch Alien at midnight. Oh man, dude, I didn't sleep. It was not an experience. So anyway. And my old man, the next weekend, he was like, oh, you saw Alien? I was like, yeah, I don't like Alien. He goes, you want to watch the second one? I'm like, no.
You're gonna like it.
We watched. He's like, no, we're watching the second one. And like, the second one's so good. And it's never even come close to being replicated. And a lot of these movies that we're talking about have never been successfully rebooted or replicated. RoboCop, Terminator. I mean, there's got to be like half a dozen Terminator movies now, except for 1 and 2. I mean, and you go and you watch the newer ones, you go, yeah, 3's good. I can understand how 3 could be good now. It's like they make they make all the other shitty movies to justify the mediocre ones they made before them. Man. I can tell you're concentrating because you're not talking much.
Yeah, I'm too busy trying not to die.
Yeah, if you're not used to the movement mechanics of this game, like to me right now this is a joke. Like I'm like whatever. This is I'm not even paying.
I keep forgetting that I can dodge.
Yeah, you gotta use your space bar key to dodge, and you gotta listen for the cues to move and shit. It's like a dance. And slide. You got to make sure you're sliding everywhere. 'Cause that's how you know people know what you're doing. Oh yeah, I'll take that. Thanks, bud. There's a med pack thing. He's going bonkers about it. So, McTiernan. After I talk about my childhood, I'm sorry. McTiernan. Vision for the movie. Saw Predator more like a King Kong movie, like the 1933 King Kong movie. A bunch of guys go to an island and go deeper and deeper, and then Shazam, the thing they're chasing turns out to be a lot bigger than they thought, and they have to turn around and run away. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. I mean, they weren't chasing him. It was chasing. Well, it wasn't even chasing them. It just decided that they were more of a challenge than. Oh boy, you are bone. Look out! They're on fire. Don't worry, it's okay. Kill that sniper. Pull out your ranged weapon and shoot it.
Screw that. I just charge at him and he dies.
Check what? Oh, I'm not doing the puzzles, bro. I've done all this stuff before. You want to sit there and turn knobs? Go right ahead. We don't turn knobs.
Or is there like a wet bandit achievement for turning on all the showers?
There's a piece of nerdle. There is a relic or something, or some goofy thing you have to. It's a collectible. I don't know. It's you got a hard on for it. Go for it. Here less.
What the hell? I didn't even know he was hitting me.
There's a big fat gunner in the middle. So, fact number 12 is huge. When did you first see? So you said you saw Predator on TV. Do you remember when and who you were with?
It was with my brothers. I think we were just late night watching TV, playing Nintendo and stuff. So.
Was it kind of like one of those things you weren't supposed to be watching?
No, it just came on, and we were watching it, and we were just like, well, this is awesome, and then... Because we didn't even know what we were watching.
Suddenly Apollo Creed and the Terminator are in the forest getting shot at. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it was... I immediately was smitten with the movie. Like, I was just like, holy shit, this is like one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
It is, and remember too the scene, and it'll probably come up again. It'll probably come up again in the facts here because there are 30 and we're only on 12. and you probably want to superimpose that scene while I explain it, is the most testosterone charged 30 seconds of any movie ever is when they're in the forest just after Blaine gets killed. And I'm sorry for spoilers, but the movie is like 40 fucking years old. Go and watch it. After Blaine gets killed, Mac picks up the minigun and he just starts shooting off into the forest. Now all the rest of the unit members, they all come in and they start firing. It's 30, I think it's like 30 or 40 seconds of them just shooting at nothing, trying to kill this thing. And it is the most badass. They don't hit him. I think, no, they do hit him. They hit him once. The most badass 40 seconds, 30 seconds ever in cinema history. Like, it's just... the screams, ah! They're just shooting. It's just so good. You okay down there?
Yep.
Process failure. Reapply. This time, pay more attention.
He died on a malice. It's terrible. I'm gonna pick up his grimoire. Anyway.
We have need of your skill, Templar. Didn't expect to see you.
I would do the objectives. I'm too busy reading facts and shit. So. If I put like 10% more of my brain power in this would go smoother, but I could care less. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So, here's one. Do you remember when you saw Predator 2? Was that also a TV, or was that a rental?
I initially saw it on TV. Then eventually I rented it myself.
Yeah. Were you shocked when you saw the sex scene? That was
because that was cut from TV.
Yeah, it's a little. That's a little salacious for, I think it was 1990 or 1991 or 92. A little salacious for that time era. It was kind of like, holy crap. I remember seeing it on TV, late night CTV. I think it was CTV, City News, Channel 7.
City TV, yeah.
City TV, that's it, yeah. City TV always used to have really cool movies on at night, Saturday and Sunday, and that was one of them.
It was the Skinamax hour.
Yep. So, fact number 12. There were some major production issues to deal with. McTiernan's work on the film as director has been acclaimed since its release, but filming in Mexican jungles, where there were issues that McTiernan had to deal with throughout. Pretty much every member of the cast and crew got sick during production. Well, that's a given, right? Between malaria and...
Yeah, they're in the jungle, like, come on.
They're in the jungle, there's parasites and bugs.
Ants.
Ants? Yeah, running away.
Ants, I got ants in my pants.
Ants in your pants. Ants in your pants. Due to the extreme heat and drinking water at the hotel not being filtered properly, it came down with diarrhea and fever. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that you don't realize too. Like, not dysentery, but having
getting fever.
I can't remember I can't remember what it's called, where you basically can't retain anything. You just keep throwing it out. You can die from that shit. It's terrible. It's not cool.
Dysentery?
Like, that's a... Is it dysentery? Yeah. That's, well, I mean, you can't retain anything. Like, you can't retain anything. It just comes out of you. So you end up, like... I mean, that's a trip to the hospital and IVs and all sorts of shit. That's not cool at all.
It's worse than diarrhea, for sure.
Yeah. And that's why they tell you, if you're traveling abroad, if you're going to Mexico, you're going to another foreign country, you gotta go get a checkup and you gotta go get a shot. Because if you don't, and you go off script and you go off the resort, I mean, you get thick. It's on you.
Yeah, that's why they always say stay at the resort. Everything you need is at the resort. There's no reason to leave.
Yeah, drink bottled water. And that was a thing too. Everyone's like, "Oh, why do you put lime in Corona?" It's like because the lime juice was supposed to kill. I don't know if I think that's an urban myth, but it's supposed to kill the bacteria that's in the water in the beer. So I don't know. Fun facts about alcohol. The other fact is it's disgusting. They're all on fire, and all is well. So McTiernan wouldn't eat the local food and lost 25 pounds during filming. Arnold Schwarzenegger was the same, and McTiernan said he grew noticeably thinner throughout filming. I never really noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice either.
Dutch gets smaller, but I mean, I guess that would make sense. I mean, Arnold, dude's like what? 6'4", 6'5".
I would have to do a comparison between him at the beginning of the movie and him at his last scene. But then again,
I wonder.
A lot of things are shot out of order, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. I would check that. Like, go back and look at it because that would be an interesting fact. And I mean, you gotta remember Arnold being, you know, Mr. Olympia. He's packing calories like crazy because he's got to maintain. He has to maintain his body weight, right? So he's chunking protein and, you know, obviously his HGH, and steroids, and whatever else he's taking, and what this, that, and the other. But he's got to, like, you have to eat. When you're that big, you got to eat. Yeah. And if you're not eating, you lose weight fast.
Yeah, and you lose the muscle mass.
Yeah, well, especially because he's so, like, he's not just skinny fat, he's fucking massive, right? So it's probably just burning it all away. Mind you, I guess the thing is too, if you're that big to begin with and you lose it, you gain it back faster. So I'm sure he was fine afterwards, but. Hitting the gym every day. That was one of the off the script things that I do know that's true because Jesse Ventura has talked about it. That they would wake up. Was it Jesse Ventura or was it? No, it was the guy who played Dylan, Apollo Creed. Said that they were in competition together, trying to get bigger, and he started doing what Arnold was doing. He'd wake up like super early and go for a run. And then, I guess, at some stage Apollo was like, yeah, no, I can't do it anymore because he's waking up earlier and earlier and earlier. It got to the point where they just weren't sleeping. But, you know, it's because they're just, that's Arnold, right? I mean, his body's his temple. That's what he does. McTiernan also broke his wrist during filming.
Oh, really?
He fell out of a tree. Of all things to do.
I don't remember him falling out of trees, but okay.
No, McTiernan, the director.
What was he doing in a tree?
Getting the shot. You know, he's got to get the right shot.
I'd like to think it was that over trying to get a banana.
Say that again?
I'd like to think it was him trying to get a shot over trying to get a banana.
Yeah, he's like, I really need this banana. I gotta get it for Arnold, he needs the protein. $90 calories. 90 calories per banana. I believe a banana has 2 grams of protein.
And potassium.
Very good for you.
Need the potassium.
Very good. You need the potassium. Yeah, potassium is very good for it.
Not for me. I'm on a low potassium, low sodium diet. Because of my chronic kidney disease.
It's not fun.
No, it's not.
Another useless fun fact. Did you know that banana flavored things are
usually have no banana.
After... Say that again?
Usually have no banana.
Like, you know, like banana flavored candy?
Yeah.
Like, say, like,
popsicles.
You know, those marshmallows that taste like banana? Come back over here, bud. banana flavored candies and banana flavored stuff tastes like what bananas used to taste like. And apparently in the 50s there was some crazy disease that spread
wiped out most of the bananas
and killed them all, and the bananas we have today are the
Cavendish. Mutated Cavendish.
Are the mutated version that was not susceptible to the disease. So that's why we have the bananas we have today, and they are nowhere near as
flavorful.
Flavorful, yes, they're very chalky.
So if you ever go back in time, get a banana.
Yep. I'm surprised they haven't figured out a way to, like, you know, get them back, or if they haven't found, you know, trace seeds or something like that.
Yeah, seeds or something that they could like get the gene sequence from and reassemble it using CRISPR.
I mean, instead of cloning a fucking lamb in a lab, why don't they try to clone the original banana?
Bring it back.
we need bananas in pajamas. That's what we need. That's more important for medical science. I want to know what a real banana tastes like. Nice. So, also, production designer John Vallone didn't do his research and had no idea that the trees would lose their leaves. When they did, they had to fly in tons of fake leaves to make them look more dense.
What do you bet? What do you bet? When they left all the fake leaves.
Yeah, it's perpetually summer. So, fact number 13. The cast and crew were very complimentary of Arnold. Gary Goldman, the military consultant, said he was impressed with Schwarzenegger's efforts and how seriously he took the training. The director of photography was Donald McAlpine. And he said that he said that Arnold knew what he was good at and what he wasn't good at, telling the following story. There'd be rewrites every morning, and one morning Arnold steamed out of his... like literally says steamed out of his trailer straight up to John, grabbed him by the collar and said, "There are too many words here. I'll do 3." That's the quote. Arnold got married to Maria Shriver in the middle of the shoot. And John Davis said that John Davis said they all flew to the wedding on Friday, rehearsed Friday night. Arnold got married on Saturday, had a 2-day honeymoon, and was back on set on Wednesday. It's dedication, bro. Excuse me, I got married over the weekend. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'll be back. Y'all good?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of sword I have.
Well, I mean, if you look down...
Is it the heavy eviscerator?
Heavy eviscerator, yes.
Alright.
Yeah, you got the two-hander? Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out this new perks menu.
Oh, okay. So if you go into... You hit I, go into your inventory.
Yeah.
Go to Masteries.
Yeah.
Find the weapon that you want.
Heavy eviscerator. Yeah.
Go to the blessings menu. Now, you spend your blessing points that you have earned.
I have 9.
On the different
upgrades.
On the different abilities that the weapon has. You pick the ones that you want first, and then you upgrade them as you go. Once the weapon is completely maxed out, or next to not maxed out, which is level 20. You can then take the weapon. You can take the weapon before that, but I wouldn't bother. You take the weapon to Hadron, obviously the Shrine of the Omnissiah. You go over here and talk to her.
Yep.
And you can put whatever blessings you want on that weapon. And the thing is, as you're leveling the weapon up, when you go into the weapon itself, or you go to the Shrine of the Omnissiah, you go into the weapon, you go to Entreat Hadron, you pick the weapon you want, or the weapon you're using. You can go to Consecrate and Empower. That'll increase the weapon's, like, its level, and that way you can put more stuff on it. So you can empower and consecrate it. If it's already orange, you can't empower it. You can consecrate it to get it to level 500, and once it's level 500, you can refine and re-bless the item to whatever you like, and you can make it into whatever build you want. So they've taken away, like, that RNG, like you're constantly fucking doing missions to maybe get a chance at getting a weapon that's good.
It's good that they took that away, because it was annoying as hell.
It was terrible. They realized it was killing their player base. A lot of their players were bitching about it, so they got rid of it. You can still go on Melk and find weapons that are decent. So, like, right here, I've got a level 500 Devil's Claw sword that's got 2 level 4 blessings. They may not be good, but at least that's a starting point. You can pick up the weapon. The only thing you gotta watch, if you look at the weapon stats, this is the only thing that matters, as far as I know. If you look at the weapon stats, where it says damage, say for the Devil's Claw sword, it says damage, finesse, cleave targets, mobility, and cleave damage. On a weapon, any weapon, what is referred to as a dump stat is always mobility or defense. If the weapon has mobility or defense, those stats should be 60 and the rest of them should all be 80. Then the weapon is considered perfect, because those are the only things you cannot change on the weapon. So if you see a weapon in your inventory, even if it's gray, so if you're looking on the store and you see a weapon that's got 80 damage, 80 ammo, 80 stopping power, 60 mobility, 80 stability, that weapon is perfect. Buy it. Mobility means nothing. It is such a negligible, like, little whatever, pointless, especially for a zealot, because you're super quick anyway. So just buy the weapons that have that stat spread. You keep that weapon in your inventory and you use it, make a build, use it, kill stuff, whatever. And as you level it up, it becomes, level 500, you get all the perks for it and whatever. That weapon is done.
So
it's finished.
I'm assuming that this process, now that since it's changed and it's no longer RNG based, this makes it so that no matter what weapon you were picking, like, you can make it tough.
Yes.
So you're not also, like if you want the best damage, you're always gonna have to go with the heavy eviscerator. I can main a assault chainsword if I wanted to.
Yes, you can. You can main anything you want, as long as you can make it work within your build. Doesn't matter.
Like
the other thing was
some of these I don't even recognize.
So, and also if you have a weapon, say like the heavy chainsword or the assault chainsword, once you have the assault chainsword completely leveled up, your any character class that you have that can use that weapon, it will be leveled up. If that makes sense. So, for instance, the combat blade is usable on every class except the Ogryn, because the Ogryn has their own specific weapons, so that's exempt for them. But the three main, like the Psyker, the Veteran, and the Zealot, if you pick combat blade, the combat blade, if it's maxed to 500 and has all the perks and whatever, that you can level a combat blade on any class to 500 by just spending the appropriate stuff.
Coolio.
So that's the only big deal out of it. Penances. Purge the unclean. Yes, I already did that today. Fact number 14.
Schwarzenegger had his own problems, too.
Like John McTiernan, Arnold had some onset hardships to contend with. He didn't like the terrain of the Mexican jungles and said, we were always on a hill, one leg up, one leg down. It was terrible. We were always on the hill, one leg up, one leg down. It was terrible.
Put that cookie down!
During the end sequence, where Arnold is caked in mud, which was actually pottery clay.
Ooh.
His body temperature dropped by a few degrees. They tried to warm him up by giving him Jagger tea, Austrian punch. But Arnold said, the more I had, the more drunk I got. You're trying to warm me up. Stop giving me that. He's all drunk, falling over. Oh, that's funny. Carl Weathers. So this is fact number 15. Carl Weathers. This is Apollo Creed. I beg your pardon. To Carl Weathers. I've been butchering. I didn't realize that was your name. I should know that because I'm an idiot.
Carl Weathers. He's an emoji on our Discord for a reason.
Yes, he is. Carl Weathers seemed to have a great time making the film. Carl Weathers played CIA man Dylan in the film, and listening to Weathers' interviews in the years since, he's obvious that he had a wonderful time on set. He said that we had great times. It was a great group of guys, crazy guys in the jungle, smoking big cigars, drinking really good drinks, and pumping iron. Crazy, crazy guys. That's what I figured it was. It was like the six of them all, or how many there were, I can't remember. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. We're all sitting around a campfire, just shooting the shit, exchanging stories, getting drunk. Like, you know, it was fucking boys' night out like every day. Except for Billy, because they had to, like, you know, protect others from Billy. Billy was the predator.
He was the real predator.
He's the real predator. Well, not like that, not like predator like that, but I mean, like, obviously he was. I guess he was the shit stirrer. Everyone was fucking afraid of him. He's not like Dr. Disrespect. He's not a PDF. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a big cigar smoker, not just in film but off camera as well, and he got Carl Weathers addicted to them. I was stogie. It's fine. Here, take it.
It's the best.
Ballsy with your stogies.
It's the best stogie you'll ever have. You smoke it while you're here, while it's still legal.
Well, apparently, cigar smoking is not.
No.
It's not like cigarette smoking or marijuana smoking. I guess you don't inhale the smoke because it'll kill you.
Well, it's strong, but it's more of a flavor than it is an inhalant.
It's a flavor, yeah. And the smoke is like heavy.
But at the time of recording, the Cuban cigars they were smoking would have still been illegal in the United States.
Yeah, but I mean they're in Mexico.
Yeah, so who gives a shit? They could just smoke as much as they wanted.
Yeah. Being the athlete that I am, this is Carl Weathers stating, being the athlete I am, never in a million years would I let tobacco touch my lips. But I sat there getting a whiff of this great, great aroma of the stogie, and Arnold eventually said, Carly, you want one? Sure, why not? It was all over. Within a few days, Arnold had a box of stogies delivered to me. So I guess all of a sudden it's, you know, I mean that it's kind of one of those, like, you know, not to say it's like a manly thing, but it's one of those, like, you know, it's one of those things to do. It's like classy, sort of, you know. But I mean, I personally wouldn't do it. It's kind of gross.
Well, like I for a long time was a keen smoker of Colts. I actually have a pack right here. And Colts rum and wine. There's cigarillos, and it's they smell amazing.
I didn't know you smoked.
I used to, and I gave it up because the doctor said I had to. So it's more like a treat now. So like, and I only smoke when something goes really, really bad. and it has. I have had this pack for so long. I should probably throw it out because they're all probably stale as fuck.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than stale tobacco. Oh gosh, you smell people that walk, like, especially when I'm working at the store. You smell people that that
like I could probably
smoke
get a
something that's just. Ugh.
I could probably get a yeah. If I take one out and I sniff it, yeah, I can smell the aroma. I can't smell it from the package anymore. It's still there, but it's they're for a while. They and sometimes you can actually find a pack. It's almost like getting a pack of baseball cards, but they would be individually wrapped in plastic, the individual cigarillos, and those ones last so much longer because they're individually wrapped. They're hermetically sealed, right? They're like practically in their own humidor. But
yeah, there's a guy on YouTube, and again, to those listening, there's a guy. His name's Steve1989. Steve1989 on YouTube. MRIinfo.com is the guy. He reviews old military MREs and civilian MREs.
Yeah,
so
I think I've seen
he
that,
reviews them, right? So like current, but he also gets his, I don't know how the hell he does it. He gets his hands on stuff that's like 50, 60, 70. I think the oldest one he ever got was from the Civil War. But he gets like MREs from like the 40s, like World War II. So he'll get like the old K rations. Like you see these on, you'll go watch Saving Private Ryan, you'll go watch Band of Brothers. You'll see these like the K rations, right? And they were issued cigarettes.
Yeah. No,
back in the 40s.
They didn't know it was
that was
bad
like a standard
then,
issue.
Right?
Say that again.
They didn't know it was bad back then.
Well, I mean, not only I'm sure they knew it was bad, but at the same time, you're trying to for a soldier. You're in a living hell. That's an MRE just isn't sustenance. It's a morale boost. That's why, like in the Canadian MRE as well, like they give you M&Ms, they give you Kit Kat, they give you Hershey Kisses, they give you O. Henry bars, they give you all sorts of candy and peanut butter and jelly and because you're in hell, you're getting shot at, your life's put in danger all the time. That is a little taste of home. That'll click you off. You know what I mean?
It'll get your morale.
And exactly. And depending on where you are in a war zone, some of that stuff's bartering chips, right? I mean, a little kid might tell you where a landmine is if you give him a Kit Kat. Like it's, it's they're useful in other ways. But back then, especially so this guy will review those MREs. He'll get cigarettes, and they're like like Camel and
old Camels. Yeah.
I don't know what the other one. Chesterfield. That's the other
Chesterfield.
The other company. And he'll smoke them, and they don't even have filters, bro. Like they're just wrapped. He'll pull it out, and he's, oh yeah, it's good. He's like, ooh yeah, the dry pull, it's really good. It's nice. Like he'll light it up, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. It's like, dude, like that's not cool. It's like 100-year-old cigarette, bro. But apparently they last that long because they're depending on how they're packaged or whatever.
It's back when they actually engineered things instead of just made them.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's eaten candy. He's eaten I think it was a boat ration from the 30s or 40s from Britain, and it was that was back when they used to use that red dye. Well, they still do in some places. They use the red dye that kills you or makes you. It's carcinogenic as all hell. But he's eaten the tin with the candies in it, and there were like lifesaver, like vintage, like 1940s lifesavers still in the fucking cellophane packet, right? Like some of this stuff's worth a lot of money, like to collectors and obviously and whatever. But he's popping them in his mouth. He's like, oh yeah, they're sour. Yep, no, they've gone off. Like he's eating stuff, and it's like, yep, I can feel my tongue swelling. Yep, botulism. No wonder how that poor guy's still alive.
Yeah, how is he still alive? Come on.
So if you haven't seen Steve1989, MREinfo.com, that's you want to trip down memory lane if you're really, you're bored one night and it's 2 a.m. and you don't know what to watch. Go watch him. He's fantastic.
All right.
So anyway, let's do another mission before we get off sidetracked here. I'm gonna try a different. Do I try a different build? Because then I have to think.
No thinking. Stop thinking.
Okay.
Stop it.
So lightning. So you have to tell them in the stream or in the video that Yua the Lightning Wizard. That's my name. I'm Yua the Lightning Wizard. Spicy Yua the Lightning Wizard.
I think you just told him.
Infected Mobian 21st. Oh, this is gonna be fucked. Why is that Bogard so smaller than the other one? Oxenbury.
That's a good question.
I don't know.
No, he's fine. He was just standing further away.
So, fact number 16. A famous movie star almost played the Predator. We all know, we've already talked about this.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The man in the Predator costume is Kevin Peter Hall. However, just somebody very famous was originally cast to play the Predator. For those of you who don't know, Kevin Peter Hall was basically any tall monster in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
He played everything. He was the Predator. Was he? I don't think he was the alien, was he?
He was one of them.
Was he? He was Harry from Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only reason I watched that movie, because like, oh, the Predator's in it, sick.
Turns out not so much.
That's a funny movie. There's another couple of creature movies. I think he's Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead. had to wear stilts for that one.
Yeah. Pumpkinhead of all things. The other word stilts, and he's already like 7 foot and change. So, back to the fact. Jean-Claude Van Damme was the first person in the suit. The idea that JCVD would use his martial arts skills to play the Predator as a ninja alien that would do kung fu kicks and performs the splits would have been a very different movie.
I kind of wonder how it would have worked out like that.
I don't know. There are photographs of Van Damme on set, but he was only there for 2 days before he was let go. When you hear speculation about why Van Damme left, though, there are different versions as to what happened. So here's where the drama starts. You haven't heard about this.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't deep dived this a lot. I just knew that Jean-Claude Van Damme was slated to be the Predator.
Yeah. When I first bought Predator, like to own it, it was on VHS, and at the end of the tape had a behind-the-scenes featurette, and it actually had footage of him in the suit, and even in the bright orange version of the suit, which was used for the special event of Camouflage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it would have been a very different movie for sure.
I don't think it would have been. I don't want to say it would have necessarily been bad, but I think maybe at that stage there would have been too much star power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got Schwarzenegger, you've got Weathers, you've got Bill Duke, you've got
Jesse the Body Ventura, right?
Well, that was his acting debut too. So you can and you can't, but everyone knew who he was. He's fucking.
Was it because of Predator or was it because of Running Man? Because in Running Man he was there too. It was Arnold and Jesse.
Well, I'm pretty sure Predator was. It says that is his first movie, but
maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm probably thinking of it out of order. I'm pretty sure Running Man was after Predator.
Was it? I don't know. I can't remember. So there are photos. Okay, so some say this is going into the speculation here. So this is speculation. This is a fact. It's not gospel, as they say, or not written in stone. Some say because Van Damme complained too much, Arnold called JCVD a relentless complainer, and Jackie Birch, the casting director, said he's quite amazing. No one moves like him, but he complained too much, so they fired him.
Yeah. No one wanted to work with him.
Well, I mean, I think maybe because Van Damme's French heritage, he's a little bit his maybe his standards are a little bit higher. You know, I'm not saying anything poorly about French people, but they just seem to have the bar is a little higher for them, right? Like they expect certain things and certain amenities, and
the technical term is snooty.
Say that again.
The technical term is snooty.
Snooty, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, like, look, you know, if that's what you're used to, that's what you're used to. You know, oui baguette. It's.
No, but look, je tired. Have a nap. Have a nap. Well, then fire the missiles.
Fire us our shit. If he was here, he'd punch me in the throat and I'd die. That's 60, like 70 years old still too. I think he's in his 60s now. 60 or 70. But like that. Nothing but respect and nothing for respect for the French people. I am in fact Canadian, so.
Parlez-vous Francaise?
We have the French hillbillies, Quebecois. So it's. I didn't mean anything by that either.
I don't mean anything by anything. Shut up. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So it's fine. Don't worry about it.
What was coming?
Some say he couldn't stand the heat.
He probably couldn't.
Bill Duke says Jean-Claude had to wear a suit that covered his body in 100-degree temperatures and passed out twice from dehydration.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
Joel Silver said, JC, I know it's hot, but we're losing time. If you pass out one more time, we gotta fire you. Like, it's not his fault. I mean, you know, it's hot. And he's obviously not, I mean, I think, this was, what, late 80s? So this was post-Bloodsport. I mean, I know he's like a smaller dude, but he's not that smaller. So, I mean, obviously.
It would be hard for anyone.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees, man. You're in a latex rubber suit. You're dying. Can't be expected to just muscle through it, but.
Yeah, don't ask anything of your actors you're not willing to do yourself.
I'll just go and take that. Oh, I guess you need the charge by more than I do. So, alright. So, some say Van Damme didn't like the Predator head.
No, it looks stupid. The original was just dumb.
I'm sure you'll superimpose a picture of it.
Oh yeah, it's garbage. You're gonna have to.
To me, it looks pretty dumb. Yeah, it's not. Not the best design choice. Obviously, the creature effects for what we got are far superior. I didn't like the Predator head, so when they first put it on him, he smashed it to the floor. It cost 20 grand, so Joel Silver fired him. So apparently there's drama that he broke the head, and therefore they fired him.
I don't know. There's so many conflicting reasons why he had been fired, and I don't think any of them are true.
Well, this is the thing. I haven't seen a quote from him yet.
Yeah.
So other than
it really could have been any number of reasons.
Well, the only thing that he says is the next bit. But again, this is what someone else said he said. So it's like you know.
He said,
sure,
she said, yeah.
Right. From what I understand too, this guy is Van Damme is largely regarded as a Hollywood sweetheart. He's not an entourage guy.
He's a princess.
Yeah.
He's a princess.
So it's
He's what's the word? Prima donna.
he came from nothing. He came from nothing. Like it's like he literally had nothing. When I think it was Bloodsport was the first one he was his breakout movie was Bloodsport.
No, I have no idea.
But I could be wrong. But apparently he he understands where he came from, and obviously if they're complaining that he complained a lot, complaining that he complained a lot, complaining that he complained a lot. But obviously if they're saying that he was bitching and whining, well, I mean they probably had a high expectation, or maybe it was just because they're all dying of dysentery and puking and shitting their fucking brains out all the time on set. I would assume that's a reason to complain. But anyway, sorry. Others say he did too much kickboxing. The special effects supervisor Joel Hynek says Joel was saying I'm getting electrocuted. Or no, they're being electrocuted. I'm doing the electrocuting. I beg your pardon. I'm a box. Buddy, get up. Special effects supervisor Joel Hynek says Joel was saying, you gotta stop kickboxing, the Predator is not a kickboxer. And Van Damme was like, that's how I see the Predator. And Joel said, well, you're fired, get out. Van Damme says, kiss my balls, and walks out. I'm pretty sure that's not how that went down. But, again, we'll never know. I wonder if we could find if there's actually an interview with Van Damme where he explains why. And I bet you it's something like, well, they decided to go to a different direction and I wasn't big enough to fill the suit, or they weren't willing to pay me what I asked for. Like it's probably something like that, right? Big name actors wanting more money. Their budget was already like, I mean, they had like fucking 7 big huge actors in that movie already, right? Plus, Schwarzenegger, Weathers, Ventura, Bill Duke. Yeah, like it's feasible that they just were like, yeah, man, we can't afford to pay it, but you guys can go check it out. Sorry. It's like, cool, I'm gonna go do kickboxer, whatever.
I am forsaken, it seems.
Trying to play this game and talk about facts is hard.
Yeah, understandable.
So, if I'm rambling, I'm apologizing because my brain is functioning. One side of my brain is functioning, and the other one is doing another thing. Oh, crunch. Oh, crunchy. Crack my neck. It hurt. I can't feel my legs. Oh, there it goes. So, and John Davis said, we realized the Predator couldn't be 5'6". So there's... That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, see, this is a picture of him right here.
I can't see it, but okay.
The suit looks terrible. It looks fucking bad.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It looks terrible. It really does look bad. It just looks like.
It looks like a B movie.
Yeah, it looks like someone like something that we would have done when we were in high school. Like that's like it looks phobish.
Yes, very much.
Why you filming the phobe, bro? Phobe saying, brick not hit the back. That's another deep dive movie that we should do. Is Bloodsport, because there's a whole lot of drama about Bloodsport. Have you ever heard the drama about Bloodsport?
No.
That it's a fucking it's a sham. Sean, so Bloodsport is apparently, or supposed to have been, based on a true story. Are we doing the objective getting done? Oh, recover scriptures. Oh, we're supposed to be in the elevator. I'm coming. Sorry, I'm talking too much.
I'm in the elevator because I'm very close to death.
It's okay, buddy. We got you. My ADHD is in full swing, and I'm also very caffeinated, so that does not help me either. It's okay, buddy. You're saying, oh man, I'm down. No, it's fine. You're gonna get all your health back. Watch. There you go. See, you got 2 builds left. You're good. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Get to the chopper. Get to the elevator. Go. Hit the button. Let's move. All right. So Van Damme. This is fact number 17. Van Damme was replaced very quickly. So JCVD was out, and McTiernan decided to bring in 7'2". So for the record, I kept saying 7 feet and change. It's 7'2". Kevin Peter Hall in to play the Predator. Hall was cast as the Predator for this film and Predator 2 because and Predator 2 was 1990, so it was pre-Terminator 2. Because of his height, and also because he had experience playing other monsters. Up to this point, he'd already appeared in 7 films.
He was Jason Voorhees.
He's like literally in every monster movie, yeah. Credited as a monster, alien, or mutant. I'm actually curious. I should probably go and find his IMDb. Because it's very lengthy, and he wasn't around for very long because he did die. I think he died of cancer. He died of something like suddenly. Maybe it was a heart attack. I'm not sure. So, but it was like, what? No, not the Predator. Like, it was, everyone was upset about it. Obviously, he died, so everyone was upset. But still, it's like, oh man, Kevin Peter Hall. If you read what he's been in, it's like everything. Excuse me, man. Could you please not fuck me up? Thanks.
He grabbed me again.
It's alright. He's hitting people with them. Getting grabbed is good because then he's not hitting others. Or hitting you, he's just holding you. I'm gonna look him up very quickly. Kevin Peter Hall. Screw you, stupid IMDb. Yeah, dude, it's like a million. Okay, we're not gonna worry about that. There's like literally a million things he's in. We're gonna not bother with that. I'd have to list off everything.
He's got one hell of a resume.
Oh, dude, he's like in everything.
He applies for a job, and his resume is a phone book.
Well, it's like what's her face, Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey and fucking, I can't remember what the other woman's name is that does all the voices for like Commander Shepard and all them. Jennifer Hale. I think it's Jennifer Hale. You read their IMDb's and they're like a mile long because they're in everything, and they're in things that you didn't even know they were in. That or Tara Strong is the other one, the other voice actress. She does like Harley Quinn and all the Powerpuff Girls, and it's like, wow. So also, the same year Predator was released, 1987, Hall played Sasquatch in Harry and the Hendersons. So, Harry and the Hendersons, if you remember that movie, it was fantastic.
The TV series, not so much.
Not TV series, not so much, but that's true to about everything. That's nothing new. It's chop, chop, dig, dig, chop, chop, dig, dig, zap, 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 zap.
Diggy diggy hole.
Diggy,
I am a dwarf.
I'm just a
And
dwarf.
digging a
Digging
hole.
a
Go
hole.
get the thing.
The diggy diggy hole.
Go get the,
A diggy diggy hole.
Is it Medicaid?
yeah, okay. Yeah, Ox or Rigel, yeah. So, on Predator, like most of the rest of the cast of the crew, Kevin Peter Hall found things tough. The suit weighed over 200 pounds. So he had to be held up by a rig to support the weight so Hall could move it. He was wearing the suit in sweltering conditions and also couldn't see out of the mask, so had to memorize where he had to walk into scenes. Or into the scenes, so he couldn't see.
That's crazy.
Which you would never, I mean, when you see him act in it, like when you see him in the movie, or you see the Predator in the movie, you wouldn't get the idea that he couldn't see.
Yeah, the actor couldn't see. He did such a great job.
He did such a good job. He is so creepy. When he takes the mask off and drops it, and he does that thing where he stretches his arms out and they make him roar, that's what scared me as a kid. I was like, oh shit. Because it's so intimidating. Because you realize it's like how big he is. 7'2" of Peter Hall. Kevin Peter Hall. Just huge. 200 pounds of foam latex on him.
Kevin Peter Hall or KPH.
Yep. We do see Kevin Peter Hall's face at one point through his.
Yeah, he's a helicopter pilot.
Predator.
He's a helicopter pilot.
Say that again?
He's a helicopter pilot at the end.
In the scene in the end where he see the helicopter, one of the pilots is Kevin Peter Hall. You got it.
Yeah.
Nice. I never knew that. That's wild.
Yeah, he's the helicopter pilot at the end. He's like, what the hell?
Go down to the next
Data interrogation rate acceptable.
back here. Fact number 18. Even one of the guns became kind of a character. Do you know which one it is?
Painless.
Painless! Oh, Painless is wait. So, huge automatic weapon that Mac and Blaine fire is a minigun that they call Old Painless. Usually that type of weapon is mounted on the side of a helicopter.
Your incompetence is showing.
Because of that, modifications had to be made to make it usable in the film. Old Painless was powered via an electrical cable hidden down the front of Jesse Ventura's body. It was hidden down his trousers. Trouser joke. The gun's firing rate was slowed down to 1/3 its normal rate. Otherwise, the spinning of the barrels wasn't visible on film because it was so fast.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't know about
Makes
that.
sense. Old Painless was so heavy that it had to shoot those. They had to shoot those scenes in short bursts because the actors couldn't carry it for very long. Well, I mean, if it's like if it was an actual minigun, I could only imagine. I think it takes like wasn't it Isaac that said that it takes like 2 or 3 people to lift it?
Yeah. 2 or 3 regular soldiers, not bodybuilders. I've been downed and shot to death. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Look at me die. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
They're not dying. Stop dying. You know what? No, stop dying. I'm sick of your shit.
Stop belly aching and get back in there. Get to the goddamn killing field.
Go get a We're gonna charge off the thing. Or you die. We're gonna charge off the
Medicaid.
Or you die.
Parameters almost met.
You're supposed to avoid those.
I tried. I tried.
You're like, you just went, and let him shoot him and shot you in the mouth. Bullets are good.
Tasty.
Face my incomparable wrath. Yes. Yes, Yua. Lightning Wizard Yua. That's what we are. Lightning Wizard. I don't know if you'll get all 30 facts in, but we'll try. That'll be a long video, dude. It'll be like a 40-minute video.
Yeah, whatever.
But it'll give you something to do.
I got lots to do.
Well, that's the thing too, dude. Like, I mean, and when you post as well, when you post the video on YouTube, apparently if you don't, what is it? Like, don't notify.
Oh, I never do.
There's a trigger.
Yeah, I never notify anybody. I don't use that notification service. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because yeah, well, not only that, it will notify everybody on your subscription list, but if you don't have a lot of subscribers, it doesn't work very well. Because it's not spreading it around the internet. Like, I've gotten stuff from Jeff's feed, like his shorts and stuff. I've gotten stuff from him randomly in YouTube shorts, so it does, like, go around. So
I should make some shorts. I don't know. I never think of it.
You could. You should, because all you're doing is clipping what you've already done. Just clip a small spot about something funny.
Yeah.
You know, and then people go, "Oh, what's this Clack 2000
like
thing?"
And
they'll go and they'll look at it.
I think the only short I really made was like the where I made a 3D version of Jeff and he was dancing and stuff. So. But it was I was iffy about it because it's a commercial song, but it did pass the copyright, so.
Yeah.
Got a lot of hits off of it at first, but then now nobody cares.
Yeah. So, fact number 19: the inspiration for the film came from a bad joke. In 1985, there was a joke going around Hollywood that after beating Ivan Drago in Rocky IV, Rocky Balboa would have to fight an alien in the fifth film if the fifth film was made. Screenwriters Jim and John Thomas took inspiration from this questionable gag and wrote the screenplay for what became The Predator.
Yeah, they originally wanted to have Stallone star in it, but that's not going to happen.
Fact number 20. The film changed quite a lot from the original screenplay. Having written the screenplay, the Thomases had to go through several drafts to make a lot of changes based on studio requests. The script wasn't originally called Predator, it was called Hunter. The name was changed to Predator because there was a US TV series at the time called Hunter. The original script focused on a band of alien hunters. Over time, this changed to being one alien. And the film originally featured a Native American soldier as the lead. This character eventually evolved into Billy. So some things changed, but the core idea of the film will always remained. Jim Thomas said the original conceit was always what it would be like to be hunted by a Delante hunter from another planet, the way we hunt big game in Africa. That's what's the most dangerous creature, man, and what are the most dangerous men? Combat soldiers. That makes sense. I mean, that's a pretty good premise. And that's kind of that's sort of been the thing for all the different Predator movies after that, except for, like, I think it was the remake, the Predators or whatever the fuck it was. It was terrible. Was it? No, not Predators, because that was the one where what's his face goes to the planet.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne was a bunch of Earth's like worst murderers and stuff get abducted by predators, put on a single predator-controlled planet, where they essentially are training and testing the young Yautja to properly hunt. So it's essentially the easy mode for predators to learn from.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Yautja is the actual name for the predator. That's what they're called in their own language.
Yautja.
There are Predator comics and extended universe stuff. A lot of it is very good. Some of it is fucking bad. So pick and choose your poison.
So I have to say my favorite Alien versus Predator kind of universe thing. There's Aliens versus Predator War. But what leads into that is Aliens Berserker. And it leads into Aliens versus Predator War. And Aliens versus Predator, the actual, if you want to read the novelization or the comics book, also leads into it. So it's simultaneously Aliens versus Predator with Naomi Noguchi or whatever her name is. That's happening at the same time as Aliens Berserker, and they both kind of unite and become Aliens versus Predator War. And from Aliens versus Predator War, it moves on to like Aliens versus Predator Deadliest of Species. That is a great storyline. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's where you actually learn that predator females are larger and stronger than males.
Yeah, they're matriarchal.
Yeah,
they're or Amazonian or whatever it is. Yeah, and it's to understand too. Like this all spawned from that movie. Obviously, I don't believe Predator had any sort of prior. Like, you know, the book was better. Well, there wasn't a book. It was made, or like most 20th Century Fox stuff is like that too. Like it starts out as a movie and then it turns into this big
franchise book.
Thing.
Even the fact that there's a crossover between Aliens and Predator was only because someone for shits and giggles did an homage to the alien at the end of Predator 2 and put the xenomorph skull in the trophy
the xenomorph
case.
skull on the wall of the Predator ship when Danny Glover's character
if he didn't do that, it would never have happened.
Yep. And as we all know, AVP, one of the greatest video games ever.
AVP Classic 2000.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the games that you and I played initially.
I always loved how we were always referred to humans as sacks of blood with arms and legs.
Yep.
Because even as a predator or as an alien, you just fly past a human and slash them once, they lose an arm, scream, and fall to the ground dead. It's like you could be the alien, you could be the predator, or you could be lunch.
Extremely imbalanced in multiplayer, and what was it? It was you, Jeff, me, Doug Moscrop, Brent, and I think your brother. Maybe it was Preston. I can't remember if your brother was part of that too. We had like a 6-player death match or something like that, and Doug kept using the fucking disc.
Yeah, he just slaughtered everyone.
We were at school the next day, and he was talking mad shit about how he was like owning us. It's like, dude, the fucking thing auto aims. It's like you don't even have like.
It's practically a cheat.
Yeah. Even though I crushed him with the fucking pulse rifle with the grenade.
Though I have to say that the Sega. Aliens vs. Predator game, which is it's like its own story, separate story.
Yep.
Significantly good in itself, especially with the story and the progression of being an alien, where and like traveling up walls. They made it less vomit-inducing by always having an arrow that you know where down was.
Yes. And that was the other thing too, was there was AVP and then there was AVP2. AVP2, fantastic game.
Yeah, AVP, the Classic 2000, and AVP2, I believe, were both using the Monolith engine.
Yes.
And the second one, I believe there's actually there's a version of it that you can actually get for free. Because there's nowhere to legally buy it on any distribution platform currently. For some,
don't condone any sort of pirated software.
Yeah, not that I condone that, but there is no way to actually acquire it legally anywhere, and I'm not really sure why, but I would love
abandonware,
yeah,
probably.
Yeah, technically
That
it's abandonware now. Yeah.
Development hell, or contractual.
It's probably in some sort of licensing bullshit that someone owns a license to it, and I think a while ago I tried to acquire it myself, and the only thing I couldn't figure out what to do is because you can download it, but it's in German, and you can't change that. And it was just like, it makes it hard to play the game if I can't read anything.
Sprachen Sie Deutsch?
So it was just like I realized it was German because I remember that the interface when it opens the auto run, it would have a play button, and it says Juga, like the German word for play, for start, and Juga. And I was just like, oh, it's German. I don't know. You get into the game, and I remember I got a mod that upped the graphics, but for some reason it borked some of the animations. So during the opening briefing, for some reason, the main guy, like the main, like your superior officer, he's always like flailing his arms and legs around like they're like have jets attached to them. And I was just laughing my ass off. Like, I can't take this seriously. It's like it looks nice, but the animations are just screwed up.
So fact number 21. The writers had to be sneaky to sell the script. The writers of Predator, John and Jim Thomas, didn't have an agent in 1986 and had never sold anything to a studio. They went to some lengths to get the spec script for Hunter into the hands of 20th Century Fox by sneaking onto the Fox lot and slipping it under the door of an executive's office. Somehow, it ended up being picked up by Fox and turned over to Joel Silver to produce. Silver just came off Commando. 1985. So Commando was pre. So you could almost think that Predator was a prequel, or no, Predator was the sequel to Commando because they're almost the same character.
Yeah, practically,
yeah. How John Matrix becomes Dutch. That's his code name. It's not actually his name.
Yeah. Though I wish it was canon. The Predator like game that recently came out not too long ago, kind of long ago. Because I have it on the Epic Game Store and we don't play it because it just became a.
That's a rage mode.
Yeah, like what pissed us off the most was we're trying to play legit, and some tween wasn't paying attention, was just having a conversation with someone else in the room he was in, not paying attention to the game at all, playing as a Predator, and slaughtered all of us in seconds.
Yeah.
Like we at that exact moment, Jeff and I kind of looked at each other and just went, "Yeah, we're never playing this again." But it had so much lore in the game that it should have been canon. Because like Dutch survived that encounter, and he went on to hunt predators to try to trigger events to make predators show up just so that he can prove that they're real. You know, he like leaves the army, becomes like this like commando. Like in a complete like a mercenary, and like he does anything and everything he can just so he can hunt predators.
Would have been a completely different game.
Oh yeah,
completely different movie. Yeah, if the sequel had been that, him hunting them down.
Yeah, and which is great because I love the fact that you can play that game as Dutch, as an old man, and because he actually successfully does get like genetic samples and stuff of predator blood, and he genetically modifies himself, which slows his aging. So, it's crazy. Like, there's so much lore in that, and none of it is canon.
No, of course not. So, you're queuing up, and I can hear myself, and it's distracting. Sorry. 20th Century Fox, by sneaking the fire and slipping under the door. Blah, 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 blah. Fox turned over to Joe Silver to produce. Silver had just come off Commando and decided to turn what was a B-movie canon film style concept into a bigger budget action film. So what they had originally penned up, I guess, was, as far as he was concerned, B-movie, which is probably why they ended up with the really shitty Jean-Claude Van Damme suit.
Yeah. Well, they didn't, I guess they didn't have the same budget, right?
Yeah. Fact number 22. There was a more high-profile writer involved in the production. Aside from Jim and John Thomas, there was another and considerably more well-known writer on the set of Predator, fresh from the sale of Lethal Weapon 1987. Shane Black had been brought in by Joel Silver as an actor. Black plays Commando Rick Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Hawkins is the writer of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
But Silver had an ulterior motive. He also wanted Black on hand to spruce up the script when needed. Black, though, wasn't keen on the idea of writing. He wrote a couple of jokes, his character says, in the first act, and not much else. John Davis said, we asked him to do a rewrite, and he said he was an actor in the movie and not a writer, so he was the first person we killed.
Sucker.
We killed him 7 minutes into the movie. Oh, that's great. It's funny. They actually, on the website, again, we're on alltherightmovies.com. Alltherightmovies.com is, they actually link, they link the scene in Predator on YouTube where Hawkins gets killed. That's great. 23. An experienced head was brought in to handle the music. Originally, Joel Silver wanted Michael Kamen to write the music after working with him on Lethal Weapon. Kamen, however, was unavailable due to working on Adventures in Babysitting. Really?
That was actually a good movie.
At this point, Silvestri had already been in the industry for a good 15 years, but it was only in the last 3 he'd started to become well known. This was because his work on Flight of the Navigator, 1986, and 2 Robert Zemeckis films, Romancing the Stone, 1984,
good
and
movie.
Back to the Future, 1985.
Good movie.
So that's why the Back to the Future soundtrack, it has kind of the same feel. If you think about it, if you listen to both side by side, it kind of has the same orchestra sort of. I know Predator is a little more. And then, yeah, well, I mean, it's probably in the same key. Anyway, after hearing Silvestri score Back to the Future, John McTiernan recommended him to Joel Silver, and Silver agreed and brought him in. The alien creature was originally very different. We all know this. We've talked about this already. Some big names worked on the Predator. And they don't come much bigger than special effects guru Stan Winston. Winston's work was actually uncredited on the film because he came in late came in late in the day to drag the production out of the mud, as well as the story, as all will become clear. The original idea for the alien came to the first drafts of the script was for a very stealthy, ninja-like creature that could move quickly through the trees. With this in mind, a company called Boss Film Studios was hired to design and build the creature. Boss Film Studios was owned by Richard Edlund, who had worked for ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, for those of you who don't know. which is the guys behind Star Wars. And Boss had also worked on Ghostbusters 1984, so they had a great track record at this point. Problems first started showing up when the costume for the Predator was late arriving on set. McTiernan shot all the scenes not involving the Predator, but was getting nervous when it took weeks to show up. Eventually, though, a huge wooden box arrived. The Predator costume was inside, and nobody outside Boss Film Studios had yet seen it. Uh-oh.
Is that good? This is sounding like another H.R. Geiger Predator or face hugger situation.
Yeah, well, they see it and they go, it's a giant vagina. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's a giant penis.
Well,
no, it's not.
Even then, it's just like the original design for Geiger's face hugger was like a turkey. It looked like a turkey.
Yeah. McTiernan remembers this moment by saying, "We took crowbars and opened the crate, and it was so exciting. We lifted it out of the box, looked at each other, and said, 'We are in trouble.'" Arnold said on the costume, it had the body of a lizard and the head of a duck. The below image is the original costume. So I remember I was saying that there was a picture of Dutch with the missing arm.
Yeah.
Not Dutch, excuse me.
Dylan.
What's his face? Dylan. So that's the original picture. That looks so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the torso, but the head just doesn't. It just doesn't match, dude.
No.
It just doesn't.
I don't think there was any way they could have made that work.
So fact number 25, Stan Winston saved the day. Fox agreed that the design for the Predator was not up to scratch, no kidding, but put the movie on hiatus and stopped production to allow Boss Film Studios to redesign the alien. This is where Joel Silver stepped up to the plate. He had no faith in Boss and managed to convince the studio not just to finance another company design and build the suit. He convinced them to spend twice as much as they did before. Stan Winston was the person Silver wanted, and for good reason. He was the best in the business. In the previous couple of years, he had built the Terminator, the endoskeleton for the Terminator, and won an Oscar for his work on Aliens. He won an Oscar for that? Wow.
I didn't know that.
Winston was hired and paid 1.5. This is 1986, 1987. So the movie came out in 87, so this is 85, 86, right? Hired and paid $1.5 million to design the Predator again from scratch. That's a lot of money back then. That's big bananas. Fact 26. Winston took influence from diverse sources. In creating the Predator, Winston took inspiration from African tribesmen, Celtic warriors, fish, bats, locusts, and snakes, as well as another famous filmmaker. In a stroke of Hollywood destiny, when Winston was on the way to Fox to discuss Predator, he found himself on the airplane sitting next to James Cameron, who had recently directed The Terminator and Aliens. He told Cameron what he was working on, and Cameron said, I always wanted to see something with mandibles. And Winston thought, that's a good idea, and used it for the Predator. So that's why the Predator has mandibles. You still there, dude?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just looking at pictures of the that you sent, and I was like, holy shit. It was worse than I remember.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking terrible. And then you know what? Again, we're doing the trivia thing, right? And this is good content stuff. This is why I want Jeff, because Jeff would be good too, because you can bounce it off him as well. But movies like you go back and listen to all the drama about RoboCop and the suit. The suit was the biggest part of that movie, right? The suit was everything, and that's what Peter Weller kept saying, like, the suit is everything to this movie. It has to be perfect. And like every iteration of the suit for like the first like 6 months of production was dog shit. It was so bad, and they kept throwing it back and they kept redesigning it. And he's like, and then he talks about like how they like how he would like move in the suit and like all this stuff. Like he's like coming up with this way of moving to make it more robotic and heavy and this, that, and the other. It was.
What's the limitations of the suit that actually sold it?
Yeah, and then like talking about like how like when he's in the he's in the car driving, like he's only wearing the top half of it, and
Well,
like
yeah.
it's
Why wear the bottom if no one's going to see it, right? It's this,
exactly.
It's
Well,
the same
yeah.
philosophy when making video games nowadays. Is like, if the player's never going to see this side of the gun, don't texture it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Well,
says on render,
especially
right?
saving. Well, you're saving. Excuse me. You're saving.
CPU cycles and GPU cycles.
Yeah, view cycles and GPU cycles and memory and all this other stuff. So it's
Which
good
is
stuff.
like, it's not so much of an issue now, but it's like, it's still a thing, Which is why when people make VR mods for games, they have to like do a lot of modeling work because they have to fix stuff. Otherwise, your gun is half rendered.
That's right. So we're rounding the bend here. So fact number 27: other talented effects artists were involved too. Stan Winston's design work was superb, but another team were also involved in creating the Predator's unique look. We all remember what the Predator looks like, and I remember when he took that mask off, bro. I was terrified. I don't know about you, man. Some people were like, "Oh, he looks bad." I was scared. Like I was like, "Wow, that's so creepy." And then he roars and his like
And the mandibles open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I'd have to say that in the sequels and on, from like Predator 2 and on, they get that so wrong. They got it right on the first movie, and then the second, like even like Aliens versus Predator, it seemed like the skin between the mandible like sections, it doesn't stretch, it doesn't form, it crinkles, and it was like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
It's like you built it with it in its open state, but didn't think about it when it needed to retract. It's just
If you
so
should
dumb.
put on one side of the screen a picture of the original Kevin Peter Hall played Predator when he takes the mask off and he's looking at Schwarzenegger, right? And then put I can't remember the name of the Predator and Alien AVP. I think it's Scar.
It's a Broken Tusk.
Or Broken Tusk or whatever. Put them side by side and you can see the difference. Like Broken Tusk looks like cartoony almost. Like he doesn't look.
Well,
he doesn't.
I think
it's
one
like
of
they
their
didn't-
problems is that they kept pushing for a PG-13.
Yeah, he was like a kid-friendly Predator or something. He was brightly colored, and like I understand he's supposed to be like younger and all this other stuff, but like I don't know, man. He didn't seem as menacing. When he roared, I actually laughed when he was like trying to scare her. I was like, like he's what he's trying to do, right?
Yeah.
And that's not their culture either. Like they're supposed to be like noble and honor driven. They're like Klingons.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like their shtick,
Yeah,
right?
Klingons, but better.
Yeah. By the way, I am rabidly looking for a bag of that coffee.
Yeah. Roctagino.
Ractagino. Yeah. Butterscotch flavored dark roast coffee. Like it can't be bad.
Sounds good to me.
If
we find it, we'll do a taste test. We'll have to,
if we find it, we'll do a taste test. But like when you see them, like I was saying on the Discord too, like when you see them drink it in the show, it looks like they've blonded it up, so it's like
they always like
milk and
lots
sugar
of
in it.
cream, if you can see it, because without that like default cup that everyone uses on Deep Space Nine, with the flared base.
This is the steel Yeti. It looks like a Yeti. It's all it is.
And the flared base one you used to get from 7-Eleven.
It's not like the I wanted to get a set of those teacups that Picard's got. That he always drinks his tea out of. It's like the teacup with the metal
bands. Yeah.
It's got like a metal band around it.
Yeah, I think IKEA had those at some point.
They probably did. So, fact 27. Stan Winston's design work was Predator. The Predator has a personal cloaking device that hides it from its prey, and when activated, the cloak creates a distorted effect on the screen. The mastermind behind the special effect was supervisor Joel Hynek, working with artists Robert and Richard Greenberg, and this is how they created the effect. Crew member would wear a bright red suit and play the part of the Predator in the scene. The reason they chose the red is because red is the opposite hue of green on the color chart, and the jungle is mostly green. The red suit is then removed from the relevant frames in the film. This was an early version of the green screen. The take was then repeated without the Predator on a 30% wider lens, and when those two takes were combined, the jungle from the second take would fill in the empty area from the first, and because it's on a wider lens, its leaves and vague outline of the Predator created the illusion of the Predator is wearing a cloaking device.
Yeah.
Very, very. So now they CGI the shit out of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
But now
it was
back,
one of the
back
first.
then it was a practical.
It was
effect.
one of the first
Yeah.
effects I learned how to do when I started doing like VFX using Premiere Pro 7. So I learned how to do a Predator cloaking effect.
Very, very clever. That's actually a really good idea.
It's very important to get a decent plate, like, because if you don't get a decent plate, you're gonna break the effect, and it's just not gonna work.
You're gonna phobe it.
Oh, big time.
You'll phobe it. When Joel Silver went back to the studio to get more funding for the redesign of the Predator, he actually showed them footage of the cloak effect and said, "Look how cool this is. Imagine this, and then the monster appears. It's even cooler." So he's using it to sell the.
Oh yeah.
So, fact number 28. That wasn't the end of creating the Predator. Finishing touches in creating the Predator were as follows. Remember, this is off of alltherightmovies.com. I keep saying that, paying them credit. So they did all this work. I'm just reading off stuff.
Not
28.
Not a sponsor, but I am open. So email me.
Well, not a sponsor. I'm giving these guys the props.
Yeah.
They have a podcast. They've got videos. They've got features. They have a shop. Go and buy some stuff. Go show them some love, because this is what they do, right? So the finishing touches in creating the Predator were as follows. The head was separate from the main costume and had 9 servo motors that moved the mandibles and cheeks. Kevin Peter Hall was able to operate it himself operated himself with his own jaw. That's cool. So he could like move his mouth and it would like do stuff. So he could actually act, which is cool. The Predator's green blood, which we seen glowing on the leaves after Max shoots it with old Painless, is liquid from inside of a glow stick.
Why not? It's already glowing.
It already glows. Why not, right? The Predator. By the way, if you're listening to this, don't go and buy those and break them open. That stuff is toxic as all hell. Don't do that. Don't touch it. It's not good for you. It's not cool. Regardless if it's carcinogenic, just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's very. I want to say it's poisonous. It probably is, but don't touch that stuff. It's not good for you.
Not intended for
Predator.
internal use.
What's that?
Not intended for internal use.
Yeah. Don't get it on your skin. It's probably something that's not. It's like mercury, right? You don't play with it. It's not good. The Predator makes clicking sounds. This was recorded by a voice artist called Peter Cullen. And he took inspiration from the noise crabs make because he thought the Predator looked a bit like a crab. Do you know who Peter Cullen is?
It sounds familiar.
He is the voice of Optimus Prime.
Ah, okay.
So I've enlightened or destroyed your childhood. The Predator is voiced by Optimus Prime. You're welcome.
I'm going to turn into a truck now. Birch, church, a church, a ding ding church. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin.
So, that must have been a very easy payday.
Predator, number 29. Predator wasn't exactly a critical darling. 1 second.
One eternity later.
That's my spot. Okay, wait. On its release, 1987, Predator was met with very mixed reviews. Roger Ebert, this is, if you remember, if you're Gen X, millennial, you might remember if you're a millennial. Gen X, and I'm sure the boomers remember. Roger Ebert would be Siskel and Ebert used to review all the movies. I can't remember the exact date, time that was on, but you used to be able to watch it. They would review movies.
They were the quintessential critics.
They were like the first, those guys from the Muppets that set up in the opera house. And
they just pretty much them. Yeah,
that's them. Roger Ebert was complimentary. He said he gave the film 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 stars, and from their view, 3 out of 4 was they're like what's his face? Fucking Davey Page views. The guy who does all the pizza reviews. Like a 7 out of 10 is supposed to be like a massive compliment. So they were pretty rough when it came to reviewing stuff, depending on what it was.
Thumbs up, thumbs down meant a lot.
Yeah, it meant like, a 4 out of 4 was not a thing. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like
it was very binary. It was like 2 thumbs up, great movie. Yeah, it was split, thumbs up, thumbs down. It all depends on the direction that thumbs up and thumbs down went.
Yeah, and this is a thing that I feel like we've lost in the last 20, 30 years, especially at least the last 10. When you rate stuff on Amazon, right? When you go on there and you go, "Oh, this is awesome," and you do 5 stars. Well, 5 is the fucking best. So if they bring something out better, obviously it wasn't a 5. It can't be any higher than a 5. So, if something you like is really, really good, rate it a 4.
It's all context.
And explain why you're 4. Don't and if it's good, rate it a 3. If it's okay, rate it a 2. And if it's not good, rate it a 1 and say why it's a 1.
Yeah, context.
But don't if you rate. What's that?
Context is everything.
That's right. Like, explain why you're giving it a review. If you give something a 5, well, there's no ceiling in it. You're just giving it a 5 because, it was good. Well, no, it's good. It's 3. If it's a 5, it should be life-changing. Like, the fucking thing should shit rainbows and, create gold from lead. Like, it's
file your taxes for you.
Yeah, it's, the only 5 out of 5 is God. Like, that's it, right? So, anyway. He gave the film 3 to 5 stars and said, conceived at the end of a 10-second brainstorming session. Wow. Predator moves at a breakneck pace. It has strong and simple characterizations. It has good location photography and terrific special effects, and it supplies what it claims to supply, an effective action movie. Janet Mailson, critic of the New York Times, said alternately grisly, and I'm not inactive, screw off game. Alternately grisly and dull, the Predator looks like a man-sized lizard, can disguise itself like a chameleon, contains high-tech computer components, and has dreadlocks on its head, something for everyone. Ouch. Dwayne Burge of The Hollywood Reporter. These are all, I think they're all tabloids that are still going, too. Like, they're still around. Except for I think is Roger Ebert dead? I can't remember.
I think they're both dead. They're both dead.
I think they've both passed on now. But for a while, I think it was Gene Siskel that was still alive and going. But yeah, I mean those guys are like they were in their 80s and 90s and stuff. So I could be wrong. I didn't look them up. Dwayne Burge of the Hollywood Reporter says Predator's final scenes with a mud-coated Prometheus-looking Schwarzenegger locked in battle against the lizard night-like monster are terrific. Two big guys doing it in the mud.
Phrasing.
And Barry Norman said, in Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger takes on an 8-foot-tall homicidal alien from space. Guess who wins? Like, what did you figure? Like, again, the other thing about 80s and 90s movies you have to understand is that the good guy usually wins. That's why The Empire Strikes Back is a very sobering movie. Because it ends on a bunch of low notes. It's one of the movies where like the good guys really don't win. There's not a whole lot of movies like that. Predator's stature grew over the years, and it is now widely regarded as an 80s action classic. Today on Rotten Tomatoes, Predator has an approval rating of 81% from critics and 87% from audiences, and on IMDb is a score of 7.8 out of 10. One of my top 5 ever movies ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Easily, because it's got everything you want, right? It's got action. It's got suspense, it's got horror, it's got blood and guts, it's got a bunch of really wicked actors. Like, all of them are all big name actors now. Like, massive names.
The
right?
only thing that I say about that would be the only thing that's missing is sex, and that's not until Predator 2, and for me, it stands out because I remember in grade 7, 8, my art teacher, he showed us Aliens, and he loved that movie because there's no sex in the movie, and it gets the point across without having to be lewd, and
there's no smut.
Yeah, and Predator is the same. It gets the point across without having to be smut. Didn't have to have gratuitous boobs in it in order to get people in seats. It was a
that's right.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It told a fantastic story.
It's kind of one of those. It actually was one of. I want to say that the other movie that's done that recently, or the other movie series that has done that recently, is the John Wick movies.
Yeah. Because
not only I don't think Keanu Reeves is sort of hot on that kind of shit. I believe the director of the Wick movies, he's not a proprietor to that sort of pandering to that kind of garbage. Yeah. Showing full frontal nudity and sex and all that stuff is not useful.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because you're limiting your audience. Not only that, if you're not limiting your audience, then the parents are doing their children a disservice by showing them that kind of crap. You shouldn't be showing a 10-year-old kid. Oh yeah, you're gonna show a 10-year-old kid bunch of blood and guts killing alien. It's a movie, but they don't need to know the mechanics of sex at 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's not worth the whole. You can go into a million reasons why it's bad, but you're just showing tits to be able to get a bunch of fucking horny teenagers into a seat. That's stupid. Like, it's cheap thrill. You're, and then they gotta cut it out for TV. Like, it's back then when we were kids, they cut out most of the blood.
Yeah.
When.
Well, again, RoboCop, they cut out
Dylan
the shooting off his hand in RoboCop.
Yep, getting his hand shot off in RoboCop. Like the Alex Murphy being killed on TV was not that bad.
No, it was pretty tame.
and Alex Murphy getting killed in the actual VHS release was like,
oh my god.
I remember watching that, like, and looking at my dad going, what just happened? He goes, yeah, he goes, that's what the actual scene is. I'm like,
I have no words.
like, I felt sick.
Yeah.
I felt sick.
Yeah.
Like, it was disgusting. But it was one of those things that needed.
It was the one thing that made me hate Clarence Bodiger even more.
Right, because he was so. It showed how unbelievably ruthless he was, and you felt this visceral reaction to him being hurt.
It even got to the point where when that actor, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, when he became Red Foreman for that 70s show, it was still hard to not see him as Clarence Bodiger.
Michael Ironside is his name. Yes. I think it's Michael Ironside.
No, Michael Ironside is someone else. He played, Michael Ironside's played Radchek in Starship Troopers.
That's right. So who plays Clarence Bodiger?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Clarence Bodiger. Kurtwood Smith.
Yeah, Kurtwood Smith. There you go.
He's 81 years old. Still going.
Oh yeah, he played Red Foreman not too long ago, and he's still doing other stuff. Yeah,
he's still acting. 1970, and apologies to Michael Ironside if Kurtwood, and apologies to Kurtwood Smith, obviously, because I screwed that up.
Yeah. Though Michael Ironside is still one of my favorite actors.
Oh yeah, Starship Troopers. And he's also the voice of Sam Fisher in the Splinter Cell series.
One massive tangent later.
Number 30. Fact number 30. The film was a huge hit on release. The Predator received a mixed critical reception when it was released that didn't stop it from being a big commercial success. On a budget of $15 million, Predator grossed $59.7 million. So quite the return. So it made quite a bit. Predator actually had the second biggest opening weekend in 1987 behind Beverly Hills Cop 2. Again, Beverly Hills Cop, 1980s. If you haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, or I believe there's a third one, if you haven't seen them, fantastic movies.
Yes,
amazing.
Great movies.
Eddie Murphy, very, very funny. Very not just funny, but it was like a good movie. So, and then they have like an outro to this. Anyway, thanks to alltherightmovies.com. If you guys want more fun facts to terrorize your friends with, please go to their website and look it up. And I thank them wholeheartedly for allowing me to, without their permission, obviously, to read off their webpage for a bunch of probably about 45 people. But that's okay.
45 at best. Funny.
45 at best. Hey, look, listen. I don't do this stuff. I work at a grocery store, bro. I deal with the general public. No one knows who I am. I don't care what people think of me on the internet. Anyway, but that's the Predator. Again, one of the greatest movies ever made. I don't care what anyone says. Arnold Schwarzenegger. The scene where Schwarzenegger, he's like, he's getting ready and he's covering himself with mud like war paint, and he's making the makeshift bombs and all that stuff, and he's making the traps, and then he climbs up to the top of that tree with the torch.
Yeah.
And he screams the roar he gives out to call the Predator to him. That it made me go through puberty.
He makes your balls drop.
My balls dropped. I had an Austrian accent for about 6 weeks afterwards. Like, it's like calling him out. Like, let's rock.
Specifically, an Austrian hillbilly accent.
Well, that's the thing too. There are so many great like you say, testosterone driven. There are so many like badass scenes in that movie. You can't even count them on two hands. Like it's nuts. Like how many, like the shooting in the forest, the call out scene, when they're deducing how to kill it, when they're all working together to make the traps. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He's
they're making the traps in the middle of the forest, and then
and
Billy, he's standing there staring off into nothing, and Dutch is like, "What do you see?" And he goes, "There's something in the trees."
Just doesn't make sense. And then there's the time where Mac ends up killing a pig.
Killed you.
Yeah, Mac kills the pig.
Jesus, kill the pig, man. Shut the fuck up.
What the?
And then he, I like when Dutch is like, "Fuck you! What do you see out there, Billy?" Something in the trees, and then, he says, he says like,
"It ain't right.
We're all gonna die out here." You know, the guy who played Billy was awesome. I know he's got like a stigma. He's a bad, evil, he's a jerk or whatever. But
well, in order to get the insurance, they had to put a bodyguard on him. So yeah, that's pretty. He's pretty fucked up. So.
That's he's obviously a menace to society. Let's bounce out of this. Wait.